Hi, Mike Marvel.
Hello.
How are you? We're not going to use that. Okay. Okay, so I've known you for about 7 or 8 years, and I've listened to several of your songs in the past, mainly from sitting in your house or in the car with your family. And I want to talk about 2 of your songs. The first one is called From My Pops. Okay, you remember? Okay, good, good. Okay, those are some intense lyrics. You describe several explicit circumstances. You said, and I quote, "These blank break your heart and they ask you why you fleeing. Blank stab you in the back, then they ask you why you're bleeding." You go on to say, "Everybody is a god till they meet the hand of the devil. Never seen a man 6 feet until you holding the shovel." Sorry, I'm trying to rap.
That's how the last line goes there.
Okay, right. Are those instances personal anecdotes experienced by your father, or are they so-called parables handed down from him from other people?
Oh, well, I mean, it's basically like kind of what my father taught me growing up. Like the actual song From My Pops is a song almost like it's a reenactment of how it went when my father was incarcerated for 6 years. At a young age, my father was, put in prison, and for a certain amount of years, for about 6 to 7 years, I actually didn't have a father. So it was really just me, my brother, and my mother, and it was just the 3 of us, like, collectively together. So the song really takes place as almost like what the conversation seemed like before he left, or the day that he left was the conversation that he had with me, and the things that he tried to teach me before he left, and how I should grow up as a man by the time he leaves and when he comes back.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Perfect. So in the lyrics you insinuated that the conversations of growing up and becoming a man were not discussed whilst your mother was present. What was your father's reasoning for that?
My father's reasoning for
not discussing this information in front of your mother?
And for my because it's almost like like when it's like a dad-son kind of thing, You seen that commercial, it's like don't tell mom, or it's like don't tell dad, or something like that, you know what I mean? And it's like certain conversations you feel more comfortable with having with your mother, and then certain man-to-man conversations that only a father can have with his son. So that's kind of how like my whole like thought process was when I wrote the song.
Okay, so while your father was incarcerated, who did you go to for advice, or did you speak to your older brother?
Well, really, for advice, it was really like my mother. Like my mother was my mother and my father. My brother Chris was like my best friend. You know what I mean? So it's like growing up, it was just the 3 of us. You know what I mean? For that 6 to 7 year period, it was just like the 3 of us. It was like the 3 musketeers almost, kind of. There wasn't anything we didn't do together, nothing we didn't talk about. So it really helped me grow as a person.
Have there ever been experiences in your life where you've encountered similar situations that you discuss in the song, like a betrayal or backstabbing or whatever?
Oh, well, I mean, just like my trials and tribulations in life, you know what I mean? Like I think we've all been through like horrible relationship situations, which is why in the song where I say, these women break your heart and then they ask you why you fleeing, dudes stab you in the back and then they ask you why you bleeding, because it's always like, I feel like not everyone but certain people in your life have hidden agendas. So it's almost like when I referenced to that, it was almost like me speaking on my own personal situations, where it was like, I've been through certain things where best friends or people who I thought were my best friends stabbed me in the back, and it's like I've been with certain women in my life where it's like, things certain happen and then they just leave you. So sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, Mike Marvel. The next song I want to dissect is called FML. So when I first heard the title, in contemporary pop culture, FML means F my life. And I'm like, why is he so depressed? But then the song is actually, the acronym is actually for Forget My Love or Don't Forget My Love?
Forget My Love.
Forget My Love.
Yeah.
Okay, this song is pretty heartfelt. Were you referring to one particular girl, or are there 11 princesses in the tri-state area?
Well, I mean, oh man. Well, all right. I'm all about honesty. So it's that song was actually about an ex-girlfriend of mine. It's just, it's like I feel like me personally, it's like if I can write something, then I can let it go. Like that's almost like my terminology and my thought process, and like just about everything that I do, especially in like relationships. I feel like in order for me personally to fully let go of a relationship, I have to write about it. And if I can record a song, then it's like I'm comfortable in the means of the situation and how things are.
Okay. Well, I love you, so don't write about me.
No,
Okay.
I won't do that.
Okay.
The actual the name FML. When I thought of first, like whenever I write songs, I always think of like the name first. So when I thought of the name, FML, like you said in pop culture, I just thought the whole like acronym. I thought it was so catchy that when people see it, they'll be like, "Fuck my life! Like, why is this kid like? What's wrong with him?"
Yeah.
But then when I actually broke down the letters and I found like certain words to fit in, and then like with the beat that was made and everything else, when it all like gelled together, it was just perfect.
Who did you work with to produce it?
This beat was actually produced by a friend of mine named Chemist. He's actually a producer out in New Jersey. The song was actually mixed and engineered by Jake Palumbo at Uptime Studios. Very good friend of mine.
I also did an interview with him.
Yes, he did. Shout out Jake Palumbo.
Okay. Here's a quote from your song. If I'm the surge that generates the beat to your heart, and you're my rib, then you'll keep going like you didn't, wishing that you did.
That you did.
Explain that for me, please.
You're pulling a lot of
I know.
hard parts of that song.
I know. I told you I listened to it like 20 times.
In the situation or the relationship that I was in at the time, the girl who I speak about in the song, we have like a very strong like bond, very strong connection. It's almost like it's unbreakable. You know what I mean? And it's like through everything that's gone on through the years, me and her have always become like we've always stayed friends, very close friends. So we always talk about the chance of us getting back together, but it never really. It's like we get to the ledge, but we never really jump off the building. You know what I mean? Which is why in the song I say, if I'm the surge that generates the beat to your heart, and you're my rib, you'll keep going like you didn't, but wishing that you did. Because it seems like she's the one that's always hesitant to actually take the next step, and it's not really me. So I mean, that particular part was really,
Okay, so do you still talk to this girl?
I mean, I do.
Okay.
Time to time. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, it seems as though you and your ex-lover were on the verge of marriage. That's what it seemed like from listening to your song. How can you go from wanting to propose to this girl to just, I talk to her intermittently?
I mean, all good things must come to an end, is kind of what they say. But, I mean, I just feel like everyone in life has to have a window to grow. You know what I mean? I feel like if it leaves and it comes back, then it was meant to be. So sometimes people have to distance themselves from one another and have to have the opportunity to come back to each other to actually build something greater than what they used to have.
Okay, so like I said in the beginning of this interview, I've known you for ages. When are you going to finally release your music?
That's the $1 million question. LAH will be everywhere on March 24th. That is the date that I am releasing my mixtape. That is the day that I open the floodgates to everything else and the public can have it.
Fantastic. Can you tell the viewers where they can follow you or reach you if they can?
You can follow me on Instagram at Mike_Marvel or at Mike Marvel. I'm not sure which one it is right now. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Marvel. Facebook at Mike Marvel, SoundCloud.com/Mike Marvel. Just Google Mike Marvel and you're bound to find me. LAH is an amazing mixtape. I think all of you are going to love it and enjoy it. Please give me your feedback, good, bad, it doesn't matter. I feel like my mixtape branches out to all fields, whether you're black, white, Asian, Chinese, green, yellow, it doesn't matter. My mixtape is for you guys and I make music for y'all.
Okay, now to end this session, would you be open to singing a song, well not singing a song, rapping about something or from your album or freestyling? Give us a little snippet of what you're going to be releasing to the public.
Like something from my mixtape?
Anything.
I can do that.
Okay.
See, I got one for you guys. With your rapper friends, they left the door open. They wondering how the draft get in. British Bulldog up in the ring when he grappling. Light skin facing your chick, the thirst trap is in. 2 minute one at the half, let's throw the pass again. I'm putting a stop to every discussion, even the babbling. My ball's dope, so lyrically this is trafficking. Bread from the same loaf, I came with different packaging. digging passages, working harder than Africans, the little engine that could, wondering where the fastest went. You tried to steer, but your rear view wasn't adequate. I tell these rappers stay in their lane, avoid the accident. I'm right where the tenants be. I'm Bill Nye, the science guy, breaking down the chemistry. I turn the studio booth to a hip-hop ministry, breaking down only similes, giving them lines of symmetry, but that's all you guys get. LA8, March 24th, please go get that. I would really appreciate it if the entire world downloads it. It's your boy Mike Marvel, Drew Hurts the Game, Northside is the family. Holla at your boy!